This presentation will be an overview of the guidance from the United States Department of Education on the civil rights of students with disabilities concerning student discipline. Resources will be shared along with key points within the guidance. On July 19, 2022, the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, OSERS, and the Office of Civil Rights, OCR, released a comprehensive guidance package to help schools and early childhood programs in supporting children with disabilities and to avoid discriminatory use of discipline practices. This package provides written clarification from the federal level regarding the removal of students with disabilities from the educational environment, prior written notice to parents, and educational placement decisions. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the purpose of providing the guidance package is to improve the implementation of IDEA so that all students with disabilities are served appropriately and equitably, but specifically to help public elementary and secondary schools fulfill their responsibilities to meet the needs of students with disabilities and avoid the discriminatory use of student discipline. All the resources we discuss will be located on the IDEA New Guidance Help Schools Support Students with Disabilities and Avoid Disparities in the Use of Discipline page, as well as the U.S. Department of Education School Climate and Student Discipline Resources website. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, New Guidance Package also contains resources to support all stakeholders, including teachers, specialized instruction support personnel, administrators, local education agencies, state education agencies, and families in implementing this guidance. So let's discuss each resource included in the discipline guidance package. First, the U.S. Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona, provides a letter to educators, school leaders, parents, and students about the importance of supporting the needs of students with disabilities and the impact of the pandemic. This letter shares information about the resources from the department that may be useful in supporting the needs of students with disabilities, including tools for schools to assist students in addressing any disability-based behaviors that could otherwise interfere with their or other students' learning, or that could lead to student discipline or impact safety. The U.S. Department of Education issued this Office of Special Education Programs, OSEP, Dear Colleague letter that serves as an introduction to the guidance package to address disparities in the use of discipline for children with disabilities and the implementation of IDEA's discipline provisions, and two accompanying guidance documents we will discuss later to support state educational agencies and local educational agencies' efforts to fulfill their obligations to appropriately meet the needs of children with disabilities. This letter from OSEP Director Valerie Williams was written post-pandemic and acknowledges the challenges resulting from the pandemic, including mental health and learning loss. She notes that the U.S. Department of Education is particularly concerned with disparities in the use of discipline for children with disabilities and the implementation of IDEA's discipline provisions, which is why they have provided the additional guidance documents to support state agencies and districts in fulfilling their obligations to appropriately meet the needs of children with disabilities. This questions and answers document updates and supersedes the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services guidance titled Questions and Answers on Discipline Procedures that was issued in June 2009 and includes additional questions and answers that address topics that have arisen as the field continues to carry out the discipline provisions of IDEA and its implementing regulations. The letter emphasizes that there is an urgent need for SEAs and LEAs to improve the implementation of IDEA so that all eligible children with disabilities are served appropriately and equitably. Some key takeaways from this letter include, first, data collected under IDEA Section 618 and the Department's Civil Rights Data Collection illustrate the pervasive nature of disparities in the use of aversive practices, such as restraint, seclusion, and in student disciplinary practices, such as suspensions and expulsions, in K-12 schools and early childhood settings for students with disabilities, particularly Black students with disabilities. Secondly, state education agencies and local education agencies should identify ways to better prepare and develop educators, including administrators, teachers, and service providers, to implement effective, preventative, and responsive practices to avoid unnecessary discipline by proactively addressing behaviors that could prevent access to appropriate instruction. Addressing behavior that prevents access to appropriate instruction and to ensure students with disabilities are not subject to avoidable and unnecessary discipline.